What is up, my friends, and welcome to the Mock Overwatch League. Brought to you by Altitude Esports and powered by High Velocity Gaming. My name's Jeff. This is my good friend Billy. And we're here to bring you all the action between these two teams. We've got the San Francisco Shook taking on the Florida Thieves.
Yep, and San Francisco Shook coming in 0-2 on the early parts of this season. Florida Thieves coming in 3-0 without having dropped a single map. So it's proving time for the Shook. They have been working very hard in the off times between their games, and talking with Figgy, they have really been trying to work on their synergy and a lot to do with their coordination. So we will see if they get that put into practice today and make a match out of this with the Florida Thieves. As I said, they have not dropped a map. 3-0 stomps to start their season off. So they're looking damn strong right now, and I want to see if Shook can really take it to them.
Yeah, they're looking very strong indeed, Billy. And so, yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that synergy. See if the Shook can get it together here. You know, slow start to the season, but that's to be expected. You work out, you know, some of the inconsistencies and then can come out and put together some really solid attacks. Even if it doesn't result in a map win, every engagement matters. And they've clearly got a tough opponent ahead of them in the Thieves today. But that doesn't mean you can't keep improving, and they can't steal a map or two away. So underdogs on paper, we'll be keeping a sharp eye on the Shook, see if they can implement some of those improvements you're talking about.
Absolutely, and we're looking at, really what's going on from there and seeing if they can get some work done today. Like you mentioned, they need to get some map points on the board and really see if they can take it to the Florida Thieves, as they have been really just pounding it so hard here early in the season. So, what I'm looking for from the teams, the coordination out of the back. I want to see, what kind of a tank line we're going to be running, and seeing what they're going to bring as far as compositions, because like Ice Wizards right now is kind of the thing going along with these compositions. So we're starting out on Lijiang Tower, so this will be a good chance to see the tank lines coming out, what kind of DPS we're going to see. It should set up the tenor for the entire series, but I tell you what, looking at what kind of going on here, we got some stuff on the screen that is just a little bit weird. I think they may have the wrong code here.
Yeah, they have the scrim code up.
Oh dear.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. We're early in, no big deal. Don't worry about it. That's people at home. They're not. They can't tell. We'll get this all sorted out. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But while we're doing that, hey, we can take a look at our map pool for the day. This is a fixed map pool going into the week. There's no loser pick here in the Mock Overwatch League. Start off on Lijiang Tower for our control map. We will then go Escort, Hybrid, Assault, and then, of course, that control tiebreaker if necessary.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes across these boards, and I'm looking for a strong start out here from both teams. Starting on, well, it may not be on Control Center now that we're going to be restarting the game. It all depends on where we go. If we do go to Control Center, I'm looking for, obviously brawl-centric comps coming out. You have your choice of how you want to do that. Do you want to run, a Symmetra and a Junkrat? That's been really key here on Control Center. If you go to Night Market, Symmetra's still strong there. Symmetra can be run actually across all three maps if you really want to get technical with it.
No, this is a pretty strong Symmetra map all the way around, all three sub-maps. You're absolutely right, Billy.
So, that's what we're looking at. I want to see, where are we going to go here? How are we going to get to this? This is going to set you up for everything. And yeah, once again, it is the Control Center that we'll see coming out here. And like I said, Symmetra very strong here. I think Ice Wizards here could be the way to go, especially if you're trying to cordon off a main tank. So, that can be just the right way to go about this. But we shall see what we shall see coming out of these two squads once Athena lets us know that they can assemble their squads. Boom. And now we are ready. Here we go. And looks like a little bit of Celtic pride being shown from High Velocity. The Shook here. Tevu and Audio playing the Rhine Sigma. We do see Ice Wizards coming out from the Shook here. And then, the Baptiste Lucio, so you're going to have a lot of speed getting you on there. Teleporter gets you there a lot faster, too. A little bit different look from the other side, looking to damage mitigate with the Diva, and then just the spam damage from Angry Calm on the Junkrat should be burning shields down in a hurry.
Gonna be a good ice wall to start things off. Try and put some pressure on that front line, but Tevu is going to overstep their bounds a little bit, taken out immediately. Wonderful focus fire coming through from the Thieves, and they're going to press the issue all the way back to the spawn doors. Clean first fight win, but a nice disengage on the other side from Shook.
Yeah, I mean, that's an immediate withdrawal. Once the main tank went down, you know, they didn't feed the charge of the ultimates, but I mean, Tevu, you know, keep that shield up just a little bit. I know you want to get around the corner, but you've got to maintain that that positioning in your lines of sight. Make sure you're not taking all that extra spam damage in. And what I'm wondering right now is, you know, they've lost the Symmetra and brought out a Junkrat instead of the Symmetra. Early amplification matrix.
From both sides, as a matter of fact. Maywall coming out from Taken as they did keep the Ice Queen on the battlefield, trying to devalue the double damage of the Florida Thieves, but it's still too much as the wall comes down, the fire strike comes through, taken out of the fight, both DPS now absent. And here comes the pressure once again as Florida Thieves clean up the back end of this fight. They are in control.
Absolutely. I mean, look at all those check marks also for the Thieves. I mean, this is just a pretty dominant performance, and I think right now the problem is the Sigma. You don't have the same damage mitigation that a Diva does, and you're just looking at a ton of damage just being wasted right now by the Shook. So I think, you know, you get the Gravitic Flux, and then you try and get something out of it.
Oh, Microtech goes down entire. Blizzard in response. Sound barrier used as well for both sides. A lot of ults coming through at the end of the day. This clash in the tiny Overwatch room going in favors. JCK comes up with a big 4-piece.
Oh my word, and just swinging with impunity. I mean, the Symmetra Beam doing their job as well and getting a lot of extra work in there, and the shield just pressure that Tevu is under right now. I mean, they've got to get this flux off and get a change in here, otherwise they're going to go down 100-0.
Do have that flux tire combo. As long as they can deal with the immortality field, could be a good win condition. Audio just ate a ton of damage. Looked like maybe a little bit of lag as they just walked straight forward into all of that damage. An unfortunate turn of events, as I know they were counting on that flux to open up this fight. It's now all up to Microtech and this tire. Screaming it all the way back around. Immortality field prevents the death. Ruka does eventually fall, but nobody can touch. And that's a 100-0 victory for Florida Thieves.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I was afraid of, not being able to push through choke there, and especially with that Symmetra turret slowing you down trying to get through it. I mean, there was just nothing that Audio could do. Kind of dropped the experimental barrier and just took a ton of damage. So, you know, we head to Night Market now, and looking at some changes coming out from the Shook. Looks like we're going to run a Mercy Zen backline, so Figgy's going to be tethered to Taken on the Pharmacy duo. Microtech going over to the Tracer, so a lot of pressure from flanks and from high places. Tevu's looking to get that disruption with the Wrecking Ball, and it looks like it's going to be mirrored on the other side from the Thieves, so definitely looking at a mirror comp here, Jeff.
Oh my goodness. A quick death onto Figgy. Unfortunate turn. As Angry Calm just puts those rockets down with a pinpoint accuracy, laser precision out of Angry Calm on the far to start things off. And you can see they're also a good start on this barrage. They've got a couple of people held in that top right area. And eventually Cloud is going to fall. And Magical picking up that final blow, circling around, was there to capitalize on the unwinning members of San Francisco Shook. Angry Calm eventually winning the duel in the skies, returning to the point. The Shook did grab first control, but it's promptly flipped back over.
You know, and they played so split there. Like, you had Microtech on the point, you know, trying to get that capture, but the rest of the team was just off in Narnia, and I mean, it was so split that they didn't know where to put their resources, and Taven just kind of sitting off to the side here, looking for an opportunity to jump in, Shaken or Taken, trying to get some kind of work done here with the Pharah. So right now, I mean, if you're looking at Angry Calm, 25% to Barrage, they're going to have an early ult advantage.
Because they're trying to get the Discord up out of the fight. It does work. Unfortunately, back on point, still a little split. Audio is going to go down. That's the front line of this composition. It could make it difficult. Oh, a nice direct there on to Taken. Taken try to get some healing. Has to use the Conch Blast just to find some evasion. Find a little safety, but there's no reprieve to be had. Angry Calm's going to land the direct. Now has Barrage ready to go.
Thanks for the assist.
Pulse Bomb's also ready to go from both sides, so, I mean, that's the quick take, but Tevu, what a takedown of a barraging Thara, and this should be the go point for them to take the point.
Yep, Microtech going in to try to follow up on the initiation by Tevu, but gets taken down by Magical, who's doing a good job of marking that Tracer. They've got Tom Curran. Tom Curran discorded. Audio gets the final blow. I'm surprised they survived as long as they did, caught in that corner. But with nobody on point, Shook able to get this flip. And both tanks out of the fight for the Thieves.
I mean, Jeff, they just took half, Audio just took half the team out with one fell swoop there. The Hyperspheres plus the Discord just demolishing squad from the Thieves. So that's a great flip of the point. And look at this. Now they have the ultimates in their favor. Let's see if they can hold on to this.
It's going to be the Flux to start things off. Microtech trying to go in and follow up with the damage. Does get that kill on Akura. The Transcendence is late from Ruka. They're going to try to push out and keep the tanks alive, get some value out of it. Oh, nice pulse from the other side as Tevu falls in a heap of rubble. San Francisco still in control at this point, but it's looking like they're losing it here directly. The flip seems inevitable, Billy.
Yeah, nobody's on point, though, so they're still amassing this percentage going forward. And Biggie with a miracle. Oh, my word, a miracle res, but I don't know how long it's going to be good for.
No, I mean, it was a nice three-piece coming out of Magical, who really put San Francisco on the back foot right now. Tevu doing their darndest to hold on to this, stall it out, has 15 health, and eventually taken down by Tom Curran.
I mean, but the cycling is coming in right now, so they're just going to keep gaining this percentage. I mean, they could possibly get back. Nah, they're going to go ahead. Well, it's still in their favor. There's the flip at 84%, so now rapidly approaching last fight territory. 4 ultimates online for the Thieves. The Barrage and Mines available to the Shook.
Yeah, this is a lot of high-powered ultimates coming out from the Thieves. Good space control from Barrage, from the Mines. It's going to be very difficult for San Francisco to overcome this. Already blocking away. Their options have been reduced to 1. Coming out this main door, the Barrage comes out, finding 3. The Pulse isn't going to land, but the 3 ultimates in question coming through big. The res even onto Angry Calm, putting them back into this fight. Taken out of their Barrage, not finding the justice that they were looking for as the time ticks down. And Florida Thieves pick up an opening map win to start off strong in the series.
Yeah, and I mean, the tank line right now is what I'm looking at for both sides. I mean, that was a much better round coming out of Shook. However, JCK just got so much value. This is the 4-piece that you're going to see in the small little room here. Tiny Overwatch, as you put it out there. And he just cleans up 4-piece through their own photon barrier. That is economy if you ever saw it. And that was great work out of them. So, I mean, they didn't really do much to deal with the fire in the sky on Night Market as well. Both fires pretty much having their time to do whatever they wanted to do. I think swapping over to a McCree or, a different hit scan at that point may have been warranted. However, going into our next maps, we'll see if the fire continues to rear the head or if we see other heroes come out. I mean, Control always the outlier, as we always say in our casts. So, I mean, it's 1-0 right now. It's the first of 3 here in our series today, and Florida Thieves came out massively quick on Control Center, but I think Night Market may have given them a little bit of pause because Route 66 is coming up next, and FAR can work in some points, but not all over the place.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see the FAR as much here, although given the skill that we saw from Angry Calm on that FAR, they may be able to make it work in more places than you traditionally see a FAR. Definitely was ruling the skies there on map 1. And though Control may be an outlier like you're talking about, it can also be kind of indicative of where these teams' strengths lie and the coordination we expect to see. Also, their versatility. And we saw a lot of that coming out from just the 2 rounds we saw on Lijiang. We saw 2 very different compositions.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's an outlier. It's King of the Hill. It's a best of three on one map type. So we'll see. You know what is going to be able to be coming of this Route 66 map. I expect to see an Ashe on the field. To be quite honest, you know, you could run Mercy
Yeah.
Zen here and get the it's single target healing and not a lot of it. But if you're damage boosting an Ashe from the top of Earls, you know, from a defensive point of view, which is where we'll see the Shook line up here in our second map of the series, you have your choice here. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can run this map, and you know, what I want to see is how aggressively are the Shook going to hold here on point A, because Torbjorn can work here. Tracer can work here, obviously. Echo is one of my favorite heroes on this first part of Route 66. Looks like we're going to run basically the same thing that we saw there on Night Market, though, Jeff. It's the Roll and Rock and Rock and Roll comp coming out from the tank line. Microtech going over to the McCree, though, and I like this. You're going to have a little bit of stun ability to maybe deal with JCK on the Wrecking Ball. You'll also be looking at taking care of Angry Calm on the Tracer, but you got to be careful with that flashbang, because once that's out, you are fair game to a Tracer that knows how to stick and track their shots.
I do like the McCree call though. Over, you know, an Ashe may have better range, and you know, you got the AOE damage, but just like you're talking about, because of you're facing a Wrecking Ball Tracer threat, is a really good guess from Microtech to pull out the McCree instead. Holding on top of Big Earl, just putting some initial damage down, kind of poking and prodding, seeing exactly how far the Thieves want to approach this point.
Yeah, I mean, the damage boosted rockets coming in from Taken. This is going to be a quick amount of ultimate charge coming in for them. Tevu going very low, though, having to go into tunnel and come back around, picking up that Mega.
Magical working on the outside, trying to find an angle on top of Big Earls. At the very least, try to scatter the defense, get them off that comfortable high ground. As Angry Calm trying to work around back. Oh, nice shot. Cloud goes down. What a beautiful pair of kills out of Magical. Rez comes through on the Cloud, and Angry Calm falls. So we're back at a 5v5 with both teams missing until that happens. Oh no, Figgy just stuck their head out ever so slightly, and Magical picks it right off. Magical having a brilliant opening to Route 66.
Yeah, I mean, the contest is still going on right now. I'm going to assume that it's Taken there on the point. I mean, or Tevu on the point, but now the point is starting to move once again. Taken, taking a lot of damage from JCK. JCK at 16% to these mines. And that's an early walls being set up by Magical there on the Widowmaker, so they know exactly the pattern that's coming in.
Oh, Tevu trying to go contest, eats a lot of damage on the way in. Does manage to grab that Mega, but reinforcements are getting pinned into the caves. They can't quite escape the small little chokes. And a Transcendence comes out just to hold on a little bit longer. Oh, man, I don't know if I agree with that Transcendence, Billy. I think now Cloud is down, and they're going to wish they had that back come point B.
They really are, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not buying this Sigma pick right now, Jeff. It's just seems like there's not enough utility coming out from the Sigma here, especially with the mobility of a D.Va being able to finish off these kills. That's a 3K for Tom Curran on the D.Va, and that's point A in their pocket. 3 ultimates online already. 410 to get through the streets phase of Route 66.
And you can see that Florida Thieves have their pick of the litter on how they want to approach the second point, and already putting pressure down all the way back on the 2 chokes. Well, I mean, there's 2 of the 3 chokes that are available to them. Magical continues to click heads.
I mean, the value. And this is where a D.Va would be most beneficial to Shook right now, is because you can get that D.Va up in this Widowmaker's face, you know, and first of all, deny the damage coming out from her sniper rifle, and 2, force them out of their positioning, because these sight lines that Magical is taking right now is nothing short of magical.
Oh, agreed, 100%. Microtech does make a swap over to a Widowmaker their own and just try to take the straight-up duel. Honorable. I don't know if it's the right pick, but, you know, it's honorable. I'll give it that. JCK come up with kill. Pulse Bomb barely misses. Microtech with a good read. Able to back up out of harm's way and now reemerges with Magical waiting for them. The scope perfectly trained, anticipating Microtech emerging. And this is the 2 DPS from Florida Thieves, putting in so much work that San Francisco Shook having a hard time really putting together a contest on the back of this point.
I love the fact that we've got this, we've got the Ana and the Brigitte now, because the anti-nade there comes out, but not getting any value and joy out of it. This is a massive time bank coming into point 3, Jeff. And I mean, they've still got the self-destruct. Tom Curran hasn't even felt the need to have to press Q here on this diva. And I mean, you could throw out a nano boost onto. I would assume you'd throw it out onto the wrecking ball here, or onto the diva to keep them even extra beefy and just let them rain with the unlimited shots out of their pulse cannons.
You might be able to throw it on Angry as well. So many options, a plethora available. It is gonna go on to, I believe Speedy received the nano. Yeah, that's a nano brig down there. And one of the options we need to even consider is the rally Bolden Speedy to just press forward. Now they did eat a bio, got a shield up, kind of back off a little bit. Taking, swapping over to a Summer, trying to get that hack in, but teammates falling left and right around them. Taken finds themselves alone and caught out. Angry Calm comes up with 2 with the machine pistols and then the stick.
This is a little rough. I think compositionally, they just haven't really figured out what they want to do. What is their win condition going into this fight? We see Microtech coming out on the Doomfist to try and get that one punch potential and get the tech going. But I tell you what, they're just eating a lot of damage. I mean, 67 health right now, and no sign of it letting up.
Yeah, Microtech still has yet to get healed. The double bubble swap as well at the very end of the point. Imagine to try to counter Magical. The bubbles can get in the way of healing coming out of Ruka. But so far, Tevu is just forced to hide. There's so much damage coming in from the other side that San Francisco Shook have very little room to work. Nano Boost comes out, and that's the go side. Going in with a lot of cleave. Primal Rage now built up. The healing keeping those 2 supports alive from the Florida Thieves as the Primal Rage comes out. Tevu has drawn a lot of aggro into the beginning of point C. Unfortunately, up front, Microtech has already gone down. Tevu anti 75 health, cannot escape the wrath of Magical as Angry Calm receives the nano boost and is going in deep to try to finish off this point.
Yeah, and I mean, nano boosted Pulse Bomb takes down Figgy with the shield up. There's an EMP coming out, but it's going to be too little too late here, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-man EMP was solid, but there just weren't enough allies to take advantage to put the necessary hurt down before those hacks faded, and that card's going to sail on in. 3 points on the board with a decent time bank to boot.
Yeah, 98 seconds is nothing to sniff at. I mean, they had a self-destruct as well, so if they didn't get it with the mines and the just the manual kills, I think that self-destruct was probably going to do them all in. So that's some seriously good work coming out from the Thieves. Now, what kind of an answering response do we see out of Shook? They looked a little discombobulated as far as their compositions. I'm not agreeing with playing the Sigma so much. I think they were getting a lot of extra work done, actually, with this double bubble composition. I mean, Tevu, despite taking a ton of pressure, if Audio keeps playing on this and applies the bubbles in the right manner, you can get DPS Zarya on the field in a hurry. So, we're going to look maybe at a little bit of a McFlurry comp coming out here with the Zarya variant here instead of the Diva. I don't hate it. We really want to see, getting those allied bubbles and getting that charge up for the Zarya is going to be so beneficial. It's so crucial for them to be able to push through point A here. And the other thing is that, Tom Curran got a lot of work done on the Diva for the Thieves.
So
and
much
the
work.
peel
Yeah.
was so phenomenal. Anytime Ruka or Speedy was under any kind of pressure, you saw the Diva back there with the defense matrix taking care of the pressure, letting loose with the micro missiles. So, I mean, the work was being done. Now they've got to be able to crack it here on their offense.
Indeed, the Ryan Zarya does come out of the gates alongside the McFlurry, as you put it, the McFlurry in the main. Angry Calm swapping over to a Genji. This might really struggle. And I think if San Francisco can find this Genji and not allow them to escape with their cooldowns, would be a great opening pick and could open the door for this attack.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that right now Tom Curran is doing a yeoman's job right now on the D.Va, taking damage and saving those boosters to get back up into the LOS of Ruka. So, I mean, look at this. 54% to a Nano already.
Trying to go up and just evict the Florida Thieves from the high ground. San Francisco Shook would just run into too much trouble. They get caught on the stairs. Magical continues to live up to their namesake, and their aim does indeed look absolutely out of this world, finding 2 headshots in that encounter.
I mean, Audio's doing a great job on the Zarya right now. I mean, getting high-powered, very high charge. We saw up at 100%, already 75% to Grav. However, I mean, Tom Curran might be hungry for a Russian snack here, depending on, if they have the defense matrix for it.
And this changes your win condition a little bit. San Francisco need to focus Tom Curran, not allow them to get so much value, of which they have found so far here, not only in this map, but in the series as a whole. They can find that DMAC free grab time, that's your win condition, but they've got a Nano Blade to watch out for on the other side. Angry Calm just got that ult online, Nano ready to go. Fuka applies the boost, Angry Calm draws the sword, goes in and chops down Microtech right into the hat, splits the Cowboy in twain. And Tom Curry still in that mech, still finding value. Throws out the self-destruct, but does get taken out of pilot form. Florida Thieves, they've won the beginning of this fight. Is this Grav enough? Nice pair of kills. Great Grav rally pop. Speedy Med's trying to escape, but is getting pursued by Audio and all of this charge.
Yeah, I mean, and they're going to keep the charge as well. So, I mean, this Widow is going to have to be on their game here. Look at this. Look at the pitch coming in on from both Taken and Audio. They want this Brigida. They get the Brigida.
Yeah, nicely done. Audio with a fantastic Graviton Surge. Despite being down early in the fight, they're able to win it late. But still, Magical makes life difficult. Finding that early pick. We're going to get this Deadeye. Finds Magical! They peek at the wrong time. You just had to peek that Magical, didn't you? You just had to look out. You're getting all these kills. You're feeling it. You're like, I can get one more before this cart. No. There's Microtech with a bullet to the dome.
Yep, and I absolutely love the application of the Deadeye there. So, Audio bringing out their own D.Va now, and I love this switch, Jeff, because now you've got the ability to go high to low. You're going to be able to challenge Magical on this Widowmaker, exactly what they're doing right now, and they force Speedy Men's over onto a Mercy. So that is actually massive because now you don't have the Nano or the Anti to play with.
Oh, Microtech has got to do something about the skies. Audio with a smart swap. The D.Va is really the perfect pick to also assist in taking out Angry Calm. You can't just rely on one player to try to take a Pharah out of the sky. You've got to get your whole team involved in clipping the wings of Angry Calm.
And I mean, this is what, it boils down to is, what kind of compositional shifts are you going to make? What kind of pathing are you going to take here? And yeah, I mean, they're going to put immediate pressure onto Angry Calm, but Angry Calm has been showing the skills and using the concussive blast to reposition themselves when they're under a lot of pressure. This Blizzard, though, has to be huge.
Nice move up top, and Taken finds themselves in a 1v2, has to drop back down and ice block up to get some health. Looking for room to use this Blizzard. The Deadeye opens things up. Taken decides to just drop it right there in the high ground with 17 health. Felt like they had little choice. Unfortunately, it does not find the value that San Francisco were hoping for to try to unlock this point. And we've gotten into this stalemate around the clubhouse. Figgy goes in deep and finds a great kill on the Lucio. Is still way behind enemy lines. Oh, and Magical tracks him down and drops another shot into the dome. Microtech answers right back, though. Finds a pair of their own. Now looking to take down Angry Calm, who has that barrage and is looking for room to use it. Audio goes up, finishes off what Microtech had started, and this cart continues to roll.
Oh, man. I mean, Microtech put 2 bullets into the dome of Angry Calm, and then Audio finishing up the mess. That's his free cart push right now for them. But they've got to take out Ruka early in this fight, otherwise Transcendence is going to stall this point out.
Magical coming off the Widowmaker, going over to a McCree of their own, the only one who doesn't have an ultimate available for the defense of Florida Thieves. And, well, it doesn't look like that Florida's going to have to use any of them. They drop a Valk, and that is enough to send San Francisco packing.
Yep, and I was going to say that this might be the time to bring out a Sombra and try and take the speed out of JCK. Doing what I asked, and I love the swap and the adaptation here. Maybe they'll get some value out of it, but sub 60 seconds, EMP probably will not be on the board unless they capture point B.
And with the time standing, I don't think it's... Oh, my! Hold that thought. Hold the phone. The barrage right as the San Francisco Shook emerge. Oh, and a beautiful conch blast. Is that going to result? I think Taken was able to use the translocator and save their own life, but unfortunately means there's nobody there to put the hacks down, and Angry Calm continues to wreak havoc with this rocket launcher.
Biggie is doing so much work on this Lucio right now, but he's going to end up getting burned down. Deadeye out, but the LOS. Oh, my word. Diva taking down the Deadeyeing McCree. That is a fight win. Less than 10 seconds left, Jeff. I think this is all pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah, Taken will be able to initiate the overtime, but it doesn't last very long. We'll see if anybody else can even get back. Overtime which is burning. Oh, and Tevu makes it there, but one by one, the attempts are just falling a little bit short as the mines seal the deal. The Transcendents ensure the defense stays 6 strong, and that is a 2-0 lead for Florida Thieves, taking Route 66.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty comprehensive coming out from Florida Thieves there. I did, see signs of brilliance coming out from San Francisco Shook, Jeff. I mean, there were moments where they were just, getting the coordination that we were talking about earlier in our opening. They were starting to show real big signs of it, but I mean, they didn't deal with Magical in the beginning. Yeah. Whether it was a stubbornness or an unwillingness to break off their comp. I think once they brought the Diva out, there was a lot more viability into their compositions that they were dealing with, and I think that I liked the McCree that came out from San Francisco Shook as well. So I think that they were working on it, and I think they're continuing to work on it. You can see them trying to work out the puzzles in their head. But right now, Florida Thieves is just riding on a wave of momentum, and I don't know if there's going to be anything they can do to stop it in this moment.
Well, we're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll see if San Francisco can put a halt to this absolute semi-truck of momentum coming out of Florida Thieves. We'll see you back here with Map 3 in just a moment. It is time for map number 3 in our Week 4 matchup between San Francisco Shook and the Florida Thieves. The Thieves coming out strong. They haven't dropped a map yet so far in this season, and, well, they're showing no signs of slowing down, Billy.
They're really not, Jeff, and Microtech and Taken have got to step it up in the DPS department. I think right now they're getting a little bit DPS diff by Magical and Angry Calm. The fluidity of their adaptability from Florida Thieves right now is the massive game changer here in our series today. So, Magical showing off a beautiful Widowmaker that you just don't see very often, and was absolutely taking domes. I mean, the skull necklace has to be at least 10 strong right now for Magical. Now, going to Hollywood, you could run the Widowmaker here again if you really wanted to flex the guns. I think that Ashe is a better option here, especially with AoE damage, ability to go from high to low with the coach gun. They're willing to run the Mercy. We've seen Speedy and Ruka both run the Mercy so far. So, you can do it here. I think that if you bring that out, it's going to put another wrinkle into what Shook are facing in this just ginormous matchup here for them. I mean, the Thieves are just a juggernaut that have not slowed down so far. And I tell you what, I mean, Figgy and Cloud, they're doing their darndest to keep them up. I mean, Figgy getting quite a few personal kills there, doing a little bit of Reddit Lucioing and really taking it to the Thieves, but they're not able to capitalize in certain moments. Like they had a 3-piece kill, and they weren't able to get a lot of progress behind it,
right?
Because of the pressure being put on by Angry Calm on that Pharah. That Pharah of Angry Calm has been a game changer for the Thieves.
And that's Angry Calm and Magical both have been so clean, so polished. I can see my reflection in their gameplay. Like, that is a very well-waxed machine right there. Super shiny and a clean edge. Not a speck of dust, it seems, on that gameplay. It has been absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, you're right. It takes aggressive support play. It takes every single member of the team stepping up to try to shut down when players are on fire like that. And we saw glimpses of it. It just wasn't quite enough. Going into Hollywood, definitely still time. Facing down the barrel of a reverse sweep, an 0-2 deficit. You just got to take it one map at a time, one fight at a time. You got to ignore that score line and just focus on this first engagement.
Yep, and I think it all starts with the tanks. I think the tanks need to learn to take a little bit more space, take a little bit more risk in their positioning if they're really wanting to do that. But they're going to be out on the defense first, so this is going to be a little bit different of an approach here for them. And I think that, running the Rhine Diva here, not a bad look at all. I think that you can get a lot done here. You can hold corners a lot better with the Reinhardt than you would say with a Winston or even an Orisa here if you wanted to run the double shield variant. Now here, I wouldn't mind running the Sigma because you've got some enclosed spaces that you can absolutely wreak havoc with those hyperspheres. But, McFlurry is going to come out here for their defense, and I don't hate it because you're going to be able to cordon off JCK or, another member of the team. Microtech's going to have to really step it up in the McCree department and take care of Angry Calm. Audio is going to have to be able to assist him with that as well.
On the attack, it's going to be the Tracer far. Angry Calm taken to those skies once again. And, I mean, like we talked about, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's Microtech and Audio really need to combine forces, and Cloud try to even get in the mix. Otherwise, Angry Calm is just going to sit here and put down AoE damage, rocket after rocket, build up to that barrage, and holy cow, Angry Calm has found so much value out of that dangerous ultimate.
They really have, but, I mean, it's a 3-piece there for Shook, so this is a great first stand coming out from the Shook. This is it looking much different. I like the fact that they're holding on top of high ground here, but I mean, they've got to land shots with the Peacekeeper, and I think that, instead of aiming for the Pharah, I think you need to take care of Speedy Men's first on the Mercy and then go in after it.
Not a bad plan. I mean, you cut the tether, and the Pharah, I mean, so much more vulnerable. JCK trying to get up there. Nice move. He kind of stuns it up and interrupts the jump. JCK now caught in a bit of a nice little wall, prevents that retreat. Oh, what heals coming through. JCK is going to receive that nano and try to respond back. Ice block prevents the death from Taken and then freezes him up. Trades have gone back and forth. And with the res on the Angry Calm, a clear advantage. And the scrappy fight goes the way of Florida.
I mean, that's going to be just point A picked up in a hurry, tooth sweet. You know, 2 fights in, and they're already going to have this capture here. Nice flashbang. Are you going to get any value out of it? No, that's going to go ahead and take it up here, though. Microtech is still going to try and get some work done. They do get the touch, though.
They get the contest. Ooh, the bubble interrupts the Deadeye right there. Shatter. Self-destruct finds a pair, and a very important pair of kills at that. What a retake coming through from San Francisco. They didn't look shook at all on that one.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you like that? You like that?
I do
I'm
like
sorry,
that.
I had to. I had to use it just once. Just once.
Okay, I'll let you have it this time, Jeff. But you know, moving forward, we're gonna need you to do a little bit better.
Just dial down.
But that's a great stall out onto Tom Curran and the Diva. I mean, self-destruct is available 90 seconds, and Color Me Tickled and Color Me Wrong. They had a great recontest there. This Blizzard, though, this could actually be a fight winner for them, especially if they can get the main tank down. I think that they have an opportunity to get up into the face of this barraging Pharah.
But you got to settle for the tanks with this highly mobile comp. Jason Case can go ahead and pop the Primal Rage. Oh no, Cloud's in a lot of trouble, and we're Tiny Field already used. I don't believe the Sound Barrier got onto Cloud. And now Microtech taking all the health bars in the top left corner of your screen, looking very low, and there's no Cloud on the battlefield to top them off. Falling back, Taken does not get a chance to pop that Blizzard, and the rest of the defense have to just cower into the corner. Not enough time for a retake this time, though they did manage to take quite a bit of time off the clock.
They really did, and I think right now, you know, saving that Blizzard for, you know, point B, not a bad play. It starts the stall that they need, but here goes Magical back over to the Widowmaker and also bringing out the Echo here. So the Echo coming out from them. High ground is obviously their priority here, Jeff, and they're going up into spawn, putting the pressure on immediately. I love this play coming out of Thieves. They're not just settling for the take.
No, they're forcing San Francisco to fight for every inch on this defense as JCK receives the nano once again, and that's going to be the go sign. Amplification Matrix out, but it's surrounded. San Francisco can't quite find the value they're hoping for. Blizzard comes out on the cart, but there's nobody there. Florida were highly aggressive, either in front of the cart or on the high ground, and they do not get caught by that big Blizzard.
They absolutely do not. And more importantly, Jeff, they take control of high ground. So now, I mean, Magical can just set up these sight lines out of spawn and just start clicking domes as we saw them do it on Route 66. Angry Calm, 61% already to this duplicate. My word, Magical is having a game.
Absolutely is. Magical has been phenomenal so far. Self-destruct going up top. Gonna at least clear some space on this high ground. Microtech tried to drop that Deadeye, but JCK wasn't having any of it. Bubble Tesla Cannon right in the face. And now Cloud with no fade, caught in the corner, and the Mega not enough to keep him alive. This offense rolling on through. They're gonna be in the studio shortly.
I mean, once they swapped off of the Pharah, I think that's where audio needs to go over to the Zarya, and just really start beefing up and giving that extra protection, or the Sigma. I mean, 1 or 2 things there right there would have been a better change, because look at Angry Calm, the sticky bombs taking down Pilot Diva and Doomfist together. 2:45 on the clock, Jeff. They've got Duplicate ready to go, especially if they take it into the Reinhardt. This could be an absolutely killer ultimate coming through.
And the Infrasight coming out from Magical gave the knowledge that the defense of San Francisco wanted to take this high ground. You can see Angry Calm immediately going to respond. They're able to spot out Taken and not get caught off guard by the Somber Manuals. And Angry Calm looking for that duplicate. I'm anticipating the Reinhardt Duke coming out directly. Finds a Sigma instead. Hey, you're going to go in and try to push with him. And the Shatter comes through. That's a 2-man Shatter, finding both the duplicate and the Diva. Sound Barrier used as well from San Francisco Shook. That's going to prompt the Valkyrie on the other side, and the engagement breaks out in full force. The duplicate runs out just before the Flux comes through. Now trying to chase down the manual hack, but Magical keeping them from getting too aggressive, as looks like the offense of Florida Thieves will finally stabilize good little hold, but in the end, San Francisco can't win the fight.
They really can't. However, I think right now, if you're looking at Taken and Microtech, look at these ultimate charges already from the swaps that they made in the previous fight. They're getting the work done. They're just not confirming any kills, and I think that's right now what they need to do is worry about taking one kill at a time.
And get the focus fire there. I mean, you can see the ante on to Tom Curran, but there's no damage going down onto the Diva. Now JCK has a nano boost. Let's see if they can focus down the overpowered Winston. Good focus fire there. They show these signs of coordination and brilliance, but can't seem to maintain it long enough. Both DPS now out of the fight for this defense. And despite putting a lot of damage down into JCK, they're confident enough to stay in the back line, not feeling rushed to search for escape. Self-destruct coming through. Not going to find anything. Dragon's out from the defense, trying to buy back the space previously lost by San Francisco, but Teivu goes down. Microtech with a good shot onto the Mercy might be just the ticket.
Audio is in a world of hurt right now and goes down from a dinger from Magical so low. And I think this is going to be the point being taken here. Yeah, I mean, this should be all done and dusted. Figgy with the last second touch. 26 seconds is what Thieves finish Hollywood with. So the time wasting was there from the San Francisco Shook. I think they could have held there a little bit better. It's just the DPS got caught out. They went down with EMP and Dragons online, and I think they could have stalled out just a little bit longer because of that. So back to the drawing board here for the San Francisco Shook. Signs of life. Once again, we saw it. We saw the coordination almost 100%. All the pieces almost linked together there. And I mean, this is a new squad. Like, you know, they've not been together terribly long. So,
Right.
you know, they're starting to really build the synergy, and they're doing it game by game. I just think that some of the choices that are being made, some of the positional moves that are being made by the Shook, it kind of gives you a little bit of a head scratch at points. But we'll see if they're able to, you know, turn it back around here. And defensively, coming out for the Thieves. We've got a damage-boosted Ashe or a Pharmacy, depending on where Speedy Men's wants to concentrate that damage boost at. I mean, either choice is good. I don't know how they're going to get on top of him, though.
I want to direct your attention to the numbers in the top left. Look at the Winstons. The damage coming out from JCK more than doubling what Teivu has been able to put down. And that's a big reason why they're able to get all of this space. Is Microtech starts off with a good shot. Of course, res available. So it's Florida Thieves not too much worse for wear. Angry Calm strikes at the heart of the attackers, finding important pair kills. Woo!
Oh, my Lord. They have families, Angry Calm, and that is just filthy work coming out from the Pharah. Mercy, it's just a beautiful choice here, of course. I mean, just getting the immediate healing. The damage boost coming in, already 50% to a barrage. Teivu going to have to be very careful with how they aggress onto the point.
And I want to clarify that I'm not saying that Teivu is a worse player than JCK. It's the amount of pressure this tank has been under. Look at it. Teivu goes to engage, and immediately JCK in the back line with the DPS. The coordination of this Florida Thieves team is immaculate. And the moment the offensive Winston engages, JCK pushes in, and the rest of the team is right there to back him up.
Yep, and I mean, they're just holding corners. I mean, this is beautiful work out of a main tank, just peeking corners and really, you know, taking the opportune time to go in and get all that cleave damage, and saving the barrier for when it's really necessary. Barrage online, I don't even think they're going to need to use it in this fight.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Angry Calm decides to pull the trigger on this one, but Drew are correct. They certainly don't need it to win the fight. Disengage coming through. Approaching the halfway mark. If you're going to make swaps, now's the time.
I mean, Microtech going over to the Ashe in the interim from the previous fight, so they're looking to get that done as well. That's going to take the Nano off the board for just a second.
Speaking of nanos, Teivu's going to get one of their own, but here comes Angry Calm from the skies. That gets devalued, does take out Microtech, but all right, you take that trade. Audio right there trying to avenge the death of their damage player. Tevu getting a lot more value out of this attack, able to avoid the self-destruct coming through on the other side, while Cloud gets a sleep dart kill. Tevu has his primal ready to go, is going to be able to stall this out if need be. It doesn't have the bubble, doesn't need the bubble. It's going to go ahead and drop it down. EMP comes through. EMP only finds Angry Calm. They got to get that kill, and they do get the Tracer out of the fight. Tevu heading up high is able to find a second and getting a lot more impact here on this attack. It should be enough for San Francisco to cap this point.
It should be. I mean, Bob was invested as well, and he popped that primal and knocked the Bob off the point, so they didn't have that point presence, so the capture progress started going up in their favor.
I like that. Taken with the manual hack, just forces Magical to retreat a little bit, and then they focus their attention onto Angry Calm, who's still trying to stall this out for as long as they can. Biggie decides to invest the sound barrier here to ensure victory on point A, make sure they can start their journey into the streets of Hollywood. Pulse Bomb misses onto the sleeping Winston. Oh, and yet another Bob comes out. This one bubbled up. Defense Matrix there, protecting the Bob. Smart move. This is broken down into a 3v3 on this point. Ricka trying to bring it back with the Bionades, able to find the kill. Taken gets driven out by JCK, and Magical throws in a big Omnic Butler of their own. The defense holds.
Yeah, we're sub 30 seconds now and no ultimates. They expended their entire ult bank there trying to take point A here. Magical getting the high ground once again, Jeff. So, man, we saw 2 Bobs and 2 fights coming out from Magical. The value from this Ashe player, I mean, we've seen them do it so well all day on these hit scan players.
We will get a final attack here. It's up to Audio to go touch. Nice sleep and Bionade onto JCK, which means they're not going to get the 300 healing from that Nano. Could be vulnerable. Tavi's going to divert their attention and see if they can take the healing off the table entirely, but a self-destruct takes Microtech out of the fight. EMP does come out, but Magical lands a double kill with the TNT, and this is looking like an insurmountable task for San Francisco Shook, as they are forced off the objective. Florida Thieves complete the full hold and the clean sweep to maintain their perfect record through the mock Overwatch League.
I tell you what, that was a pretty filthy work coming out from the Thieves there on point A. Magical getting the lion's shares of the kills on this Ashe. That's a beautiful self-destruct coming over the top. You love to see it from the Diva, and then also finishes off the Pharah in the end. But I tell you what, that is just serious work coming out from the members of the Florida Thieves, and they go to 4-0 on the season. They have a plus, let's see, a plus 12 map
12.
differential.
Yes, sir.
So that is a pretty impressive feat so far in the young season here. So we'll see what they are able to do going forward here into their next series. But for the San Francisco Shook, I mean, there was moments of brilliance that we saw coming out for them. You saw the synergy and the coordination starting to come together. However, it is a painful loss here for them this week, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce up and take the positives out of this game, because, like I said, there were moments where they were giving Florida Thieves all they could handle.
Right.
It was just these little micro decisions in the middle of the match that really cost them the series.
I mean, what a strong opponent, right? I mean, Florida Thieves clearly have the mechanical skill as well as the teamwork to bring it all together. I mean, this may be the most difficult task that San Francisco has faced yet this season. Unfortunately, they do fall to 0-3 to start things off. But we saw the potential, right, Billy? Like, we saw certain things start to come together. I mean, we saw Figgy getting aggressive and trying to really attack the back line. We saw the Diva getting up in there and really finding a lot of value. So I think following in on the main tank war would go a long way. Those damage numbers that I pointed out earlier seemed really indicative to me on the spear of these attacks and how much more Florida were able to capitalize on those engagements. You know, we didn't quite see the same value coming through from San Francisco Shook in their front line. The engagements looking a little disjointed even when they had Nano to work with. So I think just coordinating with that alone in the very beginning of the fights and how you engage, making sure you're focusing the same targets and follow the Winston in, particularly in those double bubble or Winston Diva comps, I think that'll go a long way in improving their record and turning around this season.
Yep. I couldn't say it better myself. I just think that, the coordination, I think the in-game shot calling has to be followed up on as well. Because you could see at points where there was two different spears going on.
And
And
comms go such a long way in that, right?
yeah, the comms, I mean, I think that's the number one thing that you could see. I could see
Right.
it on the screen, is that there was two different pulls going on. So I'm not sure what the comms issue was, if there was, different calls going on, but at times there may have even been a little bit of panic halting, trying to stop the aggression coming out from the Thieves. But, that being said, Florida Thieves came out and took care of business. It was a workman's performance today, and they go to 4-0 in the season.
Well, we will certainly be keeping an eye on the Shook, see how they progress, see if they're able to turn around. I can't wait to see this team grow, and we will definitely be bringing you many more matches here on the High Velocity Gaming YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. I guess there's really not much else to say other than y'all remember to look out for each other in game and out, and we'll see you next time for more Mock Overwatch League.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.